bhunaktu saha viryam karavavahai tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacham Malam Sharirasya Chavachakena Yopakaratam Pavaram Muninam Patanjalim Pranjaliranatosmi Abahu Purushakaram Shankachakrasidarinam Sahasrashtirsam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Hari Om. That chant was composed by King Bahoja Raja in the 11th century, just in case you were wondering. So let me see, that was about 600 or 700 years after the Yoga Sutra were set down. All right, let us start this evening. I have a belt. I'm going to drop my camera view just slightly, just so you can see what I'm up to here. So we're basically going to do Supta Dandasana, okay? So I'm going to lie on my back. Now, if you can hold your feet and keep your lumbar, you keep your sacrum on the floor, do that. Otherwise, use a strap. Probably can't see my feet, but actually, look again, please. I'm going to start like this with the strap. There, my feet, they're down there attached to the end of my legs. So, Dandasana, sacrum on the floor. If you can hold your feet and keep your shoulder blades down, otherwise use a strap. Stay here a while, then we'll keep the right leg up in the strap and extend the left leg. Hold that for a while, then we'll extend the right leg. And then we're going to go into the Supta padangustasana movement tonight from Supta Dandasana, okay? Hello, Erica. I don't know if we've met. I like your Christmas tree. Okay. Urdhva Dandasana. The belt should be just at the bottom edge of the ball mount. The head tilts back, support it. Take enough strap so that the head of the humerus is below the armpit, down toward the floor. Wait there. Extend the groin, so there's a little bit of an anterior tilting the sit bones toward the floor as you lengthen the groin. Take care not to overarch the upper lumbar though, where the lower floating ribs are. Okay, and keep the right foot inside the strap. Now, extend the left leg straight, but if you have back problems, you can bend the knee and then extend it, but try and extend it straight if you can. Roll the thigh in as you lengthen it. Open the collarbones, breathe freely. So again, you're extending the groin from the pelvic rim to the pubic plate, that diagonal inguinal crease, lengthening Okay, if you can, bring the left leg up extended, up inside the strap. Wait there, reset, and then extend the right leg. Go slowly. And extending the left leg, bring it back up, hook it inside the belt. Then let's see. Hold the straps, both straps in the right hand, and extend the right leg to the side. Keep the left leg up. Just extend the right leg to the side. Left leg is still perpendicular. Left arm can now be a counter extension, spine to fingertips. And then extend the left leg to the floor, if you can. If you need to bend the knee to extend it, that's okay. So Nicole, the belt should be around the right foot to the side, and then the left leg gets extended to the floor. Ah. And extending the left leg, bring it back to perpendicular, and then bring the right leg up. Then put the belt over the left foot. Now, those of you who can hold the foot, you can hold the foot. That's okay, but not many people can. So keeping the right leg perpendicular initially, take the left leg to the side. Hold the strap with the left hand. Counter extension of the right arm. Keep the right shoulder blade and hip grounded. Don't just tilt over. Two things to be wary of: trying to impress yourself or trying to impress the teacher. Then extend the right leg. Try not to hit the dog. Recreate Tadasana with your torso and your breath. So so the left leg is to the side and the right leg is extended out on the floor. Looks like you got both legs to the side there, Erica. So the left leg is to the side. And then the right leg goes to the floor. The curse of Zoom yoga. There we go. Okay, bring the right leg back up and loop both feet again, or hold both feet, whichever variation you can do. Extend the groin, little anterior tilt in the pelvis, outer thigh rolls in, sit bones spread away from the coccyx. The outer arm and thigh bone both draw down toward their respective sockets. Spread the toes very, very wide. Use the strap. From the ball mound of the big toe, widen the sole and the arch. Okay, release the grip and bend the knees, roll to the side, go into down dog. Adhomukha svanasana. Have your feet the width of your mat, so the outer base of the little toe is at the edge of the mat. Step up into uttanasana, concave spine. Shift the weight from the back heel toward the center arch. Extend the sole and the toes as if they begin from the center arch. Draw the inner thigh bone up. Draw the back thigh up. Extend back through the groins. Gradually walk your hands deeper back into uttanasana. No tension behind the navel, standing forward bend. So if you can take the hands farther back by the heels, those of you who have more range of motion, and then come and stand to Tadasana. All right. Use a wall. Have a wall behind you to take Utthita Hasta Padangustasana. Either, if you can't keep the right shoulder blade on the wall, you should loop a belt around your foot. The right shoulder blade should stay on the wall. Utthita, extended, hasta, hand, padangustasana, grabbing the big toe. Either holding with the strap or with fingers. Lift the leg with your arm. Stand tall from the standing leg. The outer thigh should come into the socket. Take your left arm to the side and your right leg to the side. Adjust your hips a little. Okay, now bring the right leg into vriksasana. Okay, then bring the right leg into half lotus. Hold it with your hand if you need to. If you need something behind you, press the outer edge of the foot into the thigh and extend your right arm up. Tuck the buttocks under. Press the foot into the thigh. And some of you might be able to extend both arms. Don't try to push the knee back. Extend the outer thigh downward and in toward the midline. And release the arms and release the leg. Okay, leg number 2. Oh, thank God we've only got 2 legs. So left shoulder blade should stay on the wall. I forgot on the first side. Take the right arm up. Roll to the inner right heel. Outer hip thigh should come into the socket. And then take the right arm to the side and the left leg to the side. Lift up out of the standing inner thigh. And bring the leg to virksasana. And then Ardha Left arm up. If you can press the foot firmly enough, take both arms up. Or just hold with the left hand. Again, the left outer thigh extends down and in toward the midline. Don't try to push it back. And release. Lower the leg. So, inhale, Urdhva. Step out into your mat. Urdhva into uttanasana. Then go into adhomukha svanasana again, down dog. This time, have your feet sitting bone width apart, rather than the wide width again, downward dog. Laura Lee, step back slightly, a little more. Yep, press the ball mounds, sharply lift the shin, lift the inner thigh and back thigh. Do not push backward from the knee. Draw the back leg up. Now lift the head slightly. Look toward the fingertips slightly. Extend out of the armpit chest. Then extend the thoracic spine toward the base of the skull to bring the head down. Don't try to push your chest toward your legs. Lengthen the side trunk up. From the armpit ribs, from the side ribs, move up toward the pelvic rim as you untuck or anteriorly tilt your pelvis. And go back to uttanasana. Those of you who can hold the ankles or the calves, do that. Pull the elbows to the side if you're holding your ankles and extend the groin, extend the back thigh and inner thigh up. So the side ribs are not being pushed toward the thigh, they're moving downward toward the tops of the feet. Let go of the tendency to grip behind the navel and the heart center and lengthen the front of your spine. Even a tiny bit. Find the back bend. There we are. There it is. Now, holding your ankles or your calves, come into concave spine. Stretch forward from the armpit chest. Look up. And then let the arms drop to the side and come to Tadasana. Wait there. Okay, Prasarita Padottanasana. Wide stance, forward bend. So far, your poses have been unimpeachable. Spread the toes wide, extending the fourth and fifth toe. Roll to the inner heel. Take the trunk and head down. Walk your hands back. Again, the energy flow, the flow of prana, is to draw the bones up into the socket, not to push from the front of the leg into the back of the leg. And again, find the back bend. Relaxed navel, relaxed heart center. Those of you who can, reach out and hold your ankles. And draw the trunk down. Don't lift. Keep the shoulders lifted though. Headstand shoulders. Like that. Extend the thoracic spine as if you're almost about to come up out of the pose internally, energetically, but not quite. Okay, bring the palms back to the floor. Now, extend the arms away from you with your palms up on the floor. If that's too hard on the neck, then don't do it. Oops, might be too close to the wall there, Carly, to do that. No, behind you, Betsy. Away from your, There you go. Again, lift the shoulders. Headstand shoulders. Quadriceps up, thighs up, adductors up, hammies up. Get up. As James Brown would say, get up. Get on up. All right, palms to the floor. Come to concave spine and stand up. Actually, he would say, get up. Get on up. Back to Tadasana. Get on the good foot, right? Okay. Yes, I got a forward bend Jones tonight. All right, sirsasana, headstand if you can do head balance. If not, do another forward bend. my poses may not be unimpeachable, but the source of the one who taught me the poses was unimpeachable. How many times can I use the word impeach tonight? We'll find out. I might be done. Don't count on it. I don't know. Ooh. Take the legs slightly apart. Move the lumbar, sacrum, coccyx up and in, and then rotating the thighs internally, rejoin the feet. Lumbar, sacrum, coccyx. Connect the internal extension so they actually move slightly into the body, but without leaning forward into the chest. Now there's weight on the head, but don't push the skull into the floor. You can modulate how much weight is on your head through the use of your forearms. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But you should not feel like you're pushing the head downward. It's just resting on the floor. And then through the use of the forearms and the lift of the upper arm and shoulders, the neck should not be bearing any weight. Carly, your legs got to come a little to the left and shift it off center. There you go. Yep, that's good enough. Yep. Remember, wide feet are happy feet. Floating ribs back slightly, James. You're kind of leaning into your, there we go. You're going to feel too flat. We're so used to kind of leaning forward slightly that often it feels a little flat. Just moving the lumbar through the sacrum into the coccyx, up and in. Okay, konasana legs, those of you who can, if you're still with it. If you need to come down, come down. There's lumbar, sacrum, coccyx up, navel back. The bowl of the pelvis should move backward so the sacrum can go up. Don't tilt forward. There we go. Okay, wide upavista legs if you can, or back to sirsasana. Again, the belly and the bowl of the pelvis should feel like it's moving back for the lumbar and sacrum to move up. If you're done, you're done. That's okay. And re-extend the legs back to sirsasana. And then breathing out of the pose so you don't hold any pressure in your brain. Rest with your head down. So if you have absolutely zero neck issues, every now and then go to the wall and try the different arm variations. For example, I'm doing mukta hasta. There's a lot more weight on my head, but there's no weight on my neck. Can do all the fun arm positions. You should have absolutely zero neck issues. It's a fun way to pass the time and it keeps you off the streets. Plus there are physiological benefits as well. Okay, Betsy, let's see. There we go. All right, not bad for an old lady.
Mukta hasta.
All right, come down, Betsy, you show off. No, Betsy, you should try those now and then.
Yeah.
They're fun. You know, it's okay to have fun in your practice. Did you know that? My teacher, Soken Rinpoche, was teasing us once. He was saying, you people, you're always so serious. You know, if the practice is done skillfully, it brings a sense of joy, a sense of chitta prasadana is what it says in the Yoga Sutra, a blessed or tranquil state of mind. Chitta prasadanam.
Chitta prasadanam.
Prasad, like if you go to an Indian puja, they always have food, right? It's usually blessed by the pandit, by the priest. And then they pass out all the food to everybody, and that's called prasad. It's got good vibes. Okay. All right. Sit in virasana. Very good, kids. You're ahead of the game. Okay. Let's see. Actually, we're going to do ekapada supta virasana. So what that is I need a little height to do that. So my left leg will be in virasana. My right leg is extended and I lie back. So have enough height behind you so the left knee does not go up higher than the left thigh joint. Many people need to lie back on a bolster or a similar kind of height they might use in Supta, full Supta virasana. So now, if you can, I saw that, Carlos. I would do the same thing. If you want to, you can put your right foot on the floor initially to go back. And then see, where does the left knee go? If it goes way up, you might need much more height. If it goes out to the side, bring it a little toward the midline. Tuck onto the center buttock, lie back. Make sure you have enough head support so the head is not tilting back. And then extend your right leg. Rotate that outer hip and thigh in. So you should end up on the inner edge of the sacrum, the right side of the sacrum. Do not, if your knee comes up, extend the outer thigh from the ankle to the knee, roll the thigh in and draw the inner thigh back toward the socket. Do not try to push the knee itself toward the floor. Then extend the arms over the head. Palms facing to get the external rotation, or clasp elbows if you're up on a height. I have a very good view of that foot, Mary Beth. Very nice. All right, everybody sit up. Wait there. Just sit in Triangular Ekapada. Now, if you're tilted over to the side, add a little extra height. Pull the buttock flesh out. Bend your right leg and take heron pose, krounchasana. Use a strap if you can't hold the foot. Now the pelvis is going to roll back, so roll forward on your sit bones. Lift the heart center toward the soul. Hold the leg up and toward the torso. At least a tiny bit. Doesn't matter how much it moves. But there's a sense of the leg getting longer and coming toward the torso rather than trying to pull your torso toward your leg. If you're using a belt, keep grounding the sit bones and lifting up out of the bowl of the pelvis. Find that little back bend. That's it, Ken. I don't know. Carly's got her own thing going there. I kind of like. Okay. You know you want to put that leg behind your head, don't you? No. Those days are gone, thank God. Okay, change sides. I'll have to dig out. I do have a few pictures of me doing those ridiculous poses. Lucky I didn't hurt myself. So, the right leg is in, what, oh, is it, that's a very interesting rope, Mary Beth. I like that. Yeah. Okay, left knee can go on the floor to start. Lie back. Check the position of, now try and get as high up on the foot toward the ankle and the shin as you can, the right virasana leg. If you got stuck on the toes, see if you can adjust it, come more toward the ankle. Then extend the left leg if you haven't already, and extend the arms over the head. Roll both thighs in, always and forever. Extend the outer virasana thigh right, and draw the inner thigh toward the socket. Bringing the leg slightly toward the midline. Some of you might have the right shin on the floor completely. All right, sit up. If you're not careful, Carla, you're going to be covered in dogs. All right, krounchasana, Krouncha, means heron pose. Must be an Indian heron standing on one leg, huh? Arms down, shoulders down, side chest up. Find a little back bend. Ooh, I got a cramp. Hang on. Ground the femur to lift up, and energetically the leg comes toward the torso rather than the torso toward the leg. Okay, release. Come out of the pose. Whew. All right, sit in dandasana. Bring your hands hands to the back of your hips with the elbows bent to the side a little. Lift the armpit chest, widen the collarbones and shoulder blades. And then maybe you can extend the arms more, but if you extend the arms, make sure you don't end up hunching your shoulders. All right, open your left leg and hip into janu sirsasana. Then, instead of going over the right leg initially, we're just going to turn and go forward from in between the hips. If you need a block out there, do that. Have your arms, the wrists, a little wider than your armpits. Reach back through the groin and extend forward. Remember, you go down because you get longer. You go forward to go down. You don't try to push yourself down. Front body lengthening creates space for the spine to fall into. And keep the torso low as you swing around toward the right leg, left hand to right foot or loop a belt. Take your right arm way out to the side. Way out to the side. Lift and turn your abdomen over the center thigh, and then readjust the head to turn and look back at your right foot. Leverage the right hand to get more of the twist in this pose. If you can sustain the twist, go ahead and try and bring the right hand back to the foot, but you shouldn't just kind of go boing and bounce right out of it. Turning from the left waist lumbar over the center thigh. So it's a twist and a forward bend. Now you're going to use your abdominal muscles, your obliques, to twist over the thigh. Once you get there, though, relax the grip so you're not gripping your organs. Don't try to figure out what that is, just do it. And inhale, breath, come up. Turn towards your left knee and bring your right hand to the big toe, or loop a strap. And then we'll go into Parivrtta Janu Sirsasana. Now, if you're still tight in this pose, you can use a chair with your elbow on the chair and the upper arm reaching over. Okay, go ahead, extend out over that inner thigh, drop the elbow inside the knee, extend that that left arm like you're doing konasana. Then drop it down to the outer foot if you can, and then bend and lift the elbow to twist. Holding with your left hand, bring the right elbow and upper arm deeper inside, almost so the shoulder comes inside the knee, if you have that range. And then turn the thumb down to hold the instep. For those of you who have more of a range in this pose. Now, lengthen the right waist. It's okay for the left buttock to come up a little bit. All right, now untwist back to the forward bend over your right leg. Wait there a few breaths. And then inhale, come up. It's nice, isn't it? It's nice. Okay. Second side. So for janu sirsasana, beginners just bring the foot to the inner thigh. So open the hip, come on more to the top of the foot. If you can, bring the heel in line with your pubic bone or as close to that as possible. So the right leg comes more toward sirsasana. Then, again, we're going to begin by extending forward between the hips. Gradual, breathe. So you're doing uttanasana in the pelvis. And keeping the torso relatively low, swing the right arm around to the left foot, take the left arm way out to the side. Turn from the right hip, turn from the waist, floating rib. Holding with the right arm to lengthen the left waist. And leveraging it to twist the rib cage, lifting and shifting. It's actually even helpful to lift as you twist and then re-extend. If you can sustain the twist, bring the left hand to the foot, or just enjoy using the left arm out to the side to get more of the twist in this pose. Okay, inhaling, come up. So now the left hand holds the left big toe. Vriksasana janu sirsasana. It's okay to let the right buttock come up a little. Now you're going to tilt a little on the left leg, but keep the muscles of the outer calf and thigh hitting the bone in order to get leverage to twist. Lift that upper elbow, untuck the chin a little. Extend the left side, close the gap between the torso and the thigh. And untwist to janu sirsasana. And inhale, breath. All right. Mona's reading my mind. It's a yogic power she has. Sit in upavista konasana. This class goes till 9, right? Just kidding. It's a lot of forward bends. You know that? So as you sit in upavista, there's some counterintuitive dynamics here. The hamstrings, especially the medial hamstring, which is called the semimembranosus to be precise, and the adductor muscles, the hamstrings draw to the sit bones and the adductor muscles draw the femur into the acetabulum, the hip socket. Gradually begin to extend forward. If you need a couple blocks out there, feel free. And almost immediately we get over-involved in the torso, moving forward. Draw the inner thigh to the socket, the back thigh to the sit bone, grounding the femur. And the more the trunk extends forward, the head of the femur should not ever feel like it's pushing and hitting the flesh of the groin. As my beloved teacher Ramanand Patel used to say, the groins should be soft, like fresh cow dung. If you're from Iowa, or, I don't know, pudding, I don't know. All right, inhale, breath, come up. I could tell the story about when I was a little boy and I ran down the hill and slipped in the cow pie and came home covered in shit. My mother wasn't very happy. Back in the day. All right, left arm up and around to your right foot. Parshva upavista. Left hand comes forward or loop a belt. Wait there. Often the mind races ahead of what the body is actually doing. So give yourself a moment. Gradually release the groins back to extend the torso forward. The outer right thigh should hit toward the bone, and the left pelvic rim rotates forward over the head of the femur. So the pelvis actually turns. Now, which side of the spine is short? Make it long. And inhale, breath, come up. That's a real story. I'm not making it up. We had cows where I used to live. All right. Right arm to left leg. I was not a gopi, though, Betsy. I was not a cowherd. I was not in love with Krishna. Mm-hmm. I didn't know who he was yet. Mm-hmm. Gopala, Govinda, Jaya, Jaya, right?
Jaya, Jaya,
Govinda,
Gopala, Govinda, Jaya, Jaya, Gopala, Jaya, Jaya.
As you extend, the groins release back. The outer left thigh comes toward the bone. The right pelvic rim rotates. It rotates forward, but it loops back around through the groin. So again, the groin stays soft. Now, there's obviously stretch of the tendons and the ligaments there. Those fibers should stay close to the bone. Otherwise, you can end up overstretching your tendons, your ligaments, and you never want to do that. Mm-hmm. But the deep rotator muscles actually should soften a little bit. And inhale, breath, come up. Then go again into the full forward upavista. Now, some of you can hold the big toe, extend forward, take the trunk and head down. Others of you should have your arms out for support. So, whatever your capacity might be tonight, lifting up and out of the bowl of the pelvis from the rootedness of the femur. Not out of the pose, just internally. So the head of the femur internally rotates to the socket. The sit bones and sacrum spread wide. The pelvic ribs rotate toward each other. Then bring your mind to the space in front of your tailbone and invite the tailbone into that space. Do not try to push it. So the sit bones extend back, but the coccyx, the tailbone, is invited to release into the space in front of it, from which the front of the spinal extension begins. Every pose. All right, inhale, breath, come up. Okay. Vriksasana, upavista, konasana. Again, you can use a chair with the left elbow, right elbow, I mean. Reach out there, James. I'll grab your hand, okay? And then go ahead. I give you permission to overdo it. Roll back. Untwist, forward extension for a few breaths. Inhale, come up. That's really good for your colon. All right. Hey, look, you can be super flexible Gumby yogi, but if your colon isn't working, you'll die. So the physiological benefits of these poses are there regardless of your range of motion, which, I hate to tell you this, is going to get a little bit less as you get older, not more. But you may be able to sustain for quite a long time the range of motion and agility and mobility that you have. Yay! And then you won't. Okay. So hopefully yoga can help us accept that reality gracefully. I got to start a little gradual on the second side here. Right hip says, wait a minute. Always listen to your body more than you listen to me, all right? Right arm over if you can. If you can, yes you can, why not? Yes, what's that? Go ahead, roll to the outer left thigh. Okay? Leverage the elbow against the floor of the inner knee. Now roll a little to the inner thigh, but keep twisting and extending. Look up underneath your armpit. Untuck the chin a little, Mary Beth. Lift that right elbow. There you go, yeah. All right, untwist over the leg. Little few breaths in Parshva, Upavista, and then come up. You can now, when you've been in this pose a long time, you can support your thighs to bend your knees. Takes the load off the tendons a little bit. Oy vey. So there's a debate among the scholars of which mantra came first. Was it Om or Oi? Oi. Actually, I think Om came first, right? Because the vibration, the cosmic vibration of Om created the manifest universe. But then, even in Genesis, it didn't take long before God went, "Oi," right? And he drowned everybody. Well, that's what it says in the book. I don't know. Might be a myth. All right. Well, pascimotanasana. Guess what? This is how we started class. Only we were lying on our back. And some of you old timers will remember. This is what is known as linking the pose. You have to link the pose. Link the pose. I don't do a very good Iyengar. Well, actually, I do.
That's pretty good.
You ever seen him on YouTube teaching? Can you understand a word he says? No. Oh, well. Everybody looks scared. It's kind of fun. Mary Beth, did you ever meet him? No. Laura Lee did, though, yeah. And Mona? No, just Laura Lee. All right. Forward extension of the west. Paschima means the west, the back of the body. Yeah? So again, the front of the body has to create space for the spine to move into. Even though the back rounds, right? Everybody's mid-thoracic back body is going to go convex. But internally, you're lengthening the sternum, the anterior spine. Whether you go down a lot or hardly go forward at all, then you're still lengthening from the front of the sternum and in front of the spine. And then the pelvis, then the dynamic is the rotation of the pelvis over the femur. Wait there. We're going to stay another almost 2 minutes. I think the dude is telling you to relax your neck there, Carly. Very good teacher. Okay, gradually come up and take viparita karani. Hips on the bolster, legs up the wall. Or a couch or a chair or a dog or whatever. Not a dog, no. They wouldn't stand for that. Soft, smooth inhale, soft, smooth exhale. Resting in open awareness, receptive to the present moment. So you can either stay in viparita karani or transition to shavasana. dedicating the merit from our practice to lasting happiness, welfare, freedom for all beings everywhere. Om Purnamidam Punarpunam Dachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamedavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Namaste. Little program announcement. I'm doing another one of my 6-week Sacred Text Yoga Philosophy series. It starts Thursday. You can find it in the St. Paul class schedule as usual. Sort of a look at the texts that support the practice and how it evolved into what we're doing today. We look at the Upanishads, the Gita, the Yoga Sutras, Tantras, Hatha Yoga. Individual sessions can be joined if you don't want to do the whole 6 weeks. It's going to be Thursday nights from 6:30 to 8:30. Okie dokie. Stay well. Maybe we'll make it to January 20th after all. We'll see.
Let's pray. Thank you.
Thank you, William.
Good night. You're welcome, James. Be well, everybody. Erica.
Be well.
Oh, I wanted to ask her. Carly, are you sure that dog's a puppy?